What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to J&J Sports weekend show. And today is a special show. It's Memorial Day. Thanks to all the veterans out there that have made it possible for us to do this type of show on YouTube and have freedom to do this, Jay. And you got some people that you have family that's been in the military, stuff like that, don't you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Happy Memorial Day to all those.
Thank you. Looking at ahead, we wrote some things down tonight, guys. We actually wrote some stuff down, just a few things that we wouldn't quite remember. Like, we watch a little bit of NASCAR. I used to watch a lot with Jeff Gordon. I like Chase Elliott now, but we don't watch too much of the Indy circuit. But in the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday, what was his name, Jay?
Takuma Sato.
Takuma Sato was a Japan driver, and he won.
Yes, the first Japanese driver to win, and also the first driver over the age of 40 to win the Indianapolis 500 since 1998.
Ironically, that was 1998. Good year. Who won Super Bowl in '98?
I believe it was Denver.
Denver. Who won the NBA championship? Easy.
Chicago.
That's right. Yes, greatest player. Sorry, LeBron. Michael's got you beat. That's one thing we need to bring up, so I just brought it up.
Here you go with the digs.
I brought it right in because Michael got passed this weekend or last week over LeBron in playoff points.
Wait a second. Does this mean that's the other way around? Yeah,
Michael got passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael got passed, and LeBron. His shot to hit to go over Michael in points was a 3.
Yeah.
But what I did notice, it took more, they said it on TV. It took more years and more games. Now, some people say, well, he's played in more NBA games. That makes him better. And the first few years he played in, he took his teams to the finals and stuff like that. Well, we do have to realize this. LeBron James came in the league at the age of 18.
Yes. Michael came in at 21.
21. So LeBron essentially has had 3 years of playing more.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jordan took about a year and a half off to play some baseball. So that gives LeBron 4.5 years advantage in scoring, assists, rebounds, wins, everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you add all that together, he should pass Michael Jordan in a lot of categories because he's a great big player. He should pass him.
Probably the only thing that he may not catch him on is maybe his NBA titles.
I don't think he's going to catch him on that.
No. I just think because Michael had 6 titles in an 8-year span.
Right. And I think they said the ESPN NBA Power Index had the fact that the Warriors should beat LeBron and company, the Cavs, in 4 or maybe 5 games. And they had it like at a 90-something%
you know what?
possibility. I
honestly, that sounds good, but I don't think I could see that. I see this series, maybe going 6, maybe to 7 again.
I'm going to call it a clean sweep for the Golden State Warriors. They would have won last year if Draymond Green doesn't get suspended for a game. And now you keep Draymond Green in the fold. Klay Thompson's coming around. Everybody's worried about his playoff production point slump. Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson only averaging 14 points a game right now. They're worried about his slump. But the reason why you got to take into factor with his slump, you got Kevin Durant out there now shooting some more balls than what Klay usually shoots. Klay will probably have more point productive if Kevin wasn't there.
Honestly, yeah. I think that's what's made the difference. This year's version of the Warriors as opposed to last year. Probably because Golden State lost that 3-1 series lead. I guess they didn't have that one person, that did all the little things, in crunch time. This year, the Warriors have it with Durant. Imagine
last year if Draymond goes out with that suspension and Durant's still there. Do you still feel like the Warriors would have lost? No. I think the Warriors would have. Yeah.
I said no, probably not.
Right. Now, Kevin Love got hurt last year, though, right?
I think.
Did Irving get hurt, too? And, LeBron basically he won 1 or 2 games without Irving also. 1 game without Irving, too. I can't remember if they made a big deal about that or whatever. I can't remember. It might have been the second game that Draymond Green was out. But that was last year. This is this year. And I just think too much firepower. I mean, you agree with it. You just think it's going to go longer games.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think probably so. Because let's face it. Because both Golden State and Cleveland combined playoff record this year 24-1. Warriors, they've swept Portland, Utah, and San Antonio minus Parker and Ginobili. Cleveland, they swept Indiana and Toronto, and basically beat the living pissation out of Boston.
Boston actually won a tough one game.
Yes.
Buzzer beater.
Yes, by Avery Bradley. And,
Yeah.
And had that not happened, it would have been a clean sweep for Cleveland.
Is Isaiah Thomas with the Celtics next year? Does he have? Is he at free agency this summer, right? Or is that next year? Is that the year after?
It might be next year.
Yeah.
But he had a lot to deal with. Obviously, loss of his sister, like right before the playoffs got started.
He's a great player. They were just some rumors and people talking about, can you win the big one with someone like Isaiah Thomas? He's small in stature, but he has a great basketball. I call it a basketball personality. Everything just his basketball personality is something that you want when you go out and look for a mate and you go out and look for a lover. If you're looking for a basketball lover, Isaiah Thomas is that guy. And I just think his basketball personality is great. I mean, I might coin that phrase, basketball personality. I like that. That's good, wasn't it? Basketball personality.
Honestly, yeah, that was a good phrase. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, if Thomas stays in Boston, I say, yeah. Boston will probably Boston will be a playoff team. Probably what they need, in order for them to be a championship team, they probably need a couple of more players for them to be, that X factor. I see,
right.
two guys maybe off the bench, or maybe if they acquire two more players from another team, they can do little things, on
right.
the court in crunch time.
Right. If we switch, let's switch. We got to get out of the NBA. We'll be in there forever if not.
Yeah.
NFL. Let's talk about a different ball. Not a round ball. This is more of a. I don't know what shape it would be. Let's talk about the football. Colin Kaepernick, if he's going to maybe go to Seattle, that's where the rumors are starting to circulate. They're saying, is there anywhere else that's a better fit for him? I think Seattle is a good fit. He doesn't have to start. He can sit back. He's got a good coach to sit back with and learn from who cares about players. He has a great starting quarterback in front of him, Russell. Russell Wilson. But the good thing for Colin is he won't be sitting there all season long because we all know we play fantasy. We watch the games. Every year, Russell has like a game or two he has to miss for a leg injury. And it may not be as severe, but he messes something for something. He always does because he tried to slow his mobility down a little bit, but I mean, what do you think? What do you think? That would be a good landing spot for him?
Well, honestly, given the opportunity, yes. Because we were talking about that earlier. They both play the same style of ball. Honestly,
right.
They can throw down the field. They can run. For about 10, 15 yards. At one time.
I think it'd be, good deal for him. I don't know if there's anywhere else. Cleveland doesn't need him to come in and sit. They need him to come in and play. Mentally, he's not there to be a starter right now, I don't think. No. Speaking of Memorial Day and Colin, this might be a bad day for Colin. Because I know he probably cares about veterans and stuff, but he didn't want to stand for the pledge. And this is another reason why some of the teams are not taking him is because his stance against the pledge for brutality against other ethnic backgrounds or racial discrimination, stuff like that. And yes, that's something he should, bring attention to. But that's not. I agree with most of the reports about it. That is something that he should have went about differently, standing up for it. He should have never maybe went that way about just ignoring the pledge. Maybe, go to social media, do a video, do something like that. There was other ways around it. Do you believe that way, or how do you feel about that situation?
Yeah, honestly, I just said that's basically my whole point. He could have just went about the whole situation, I'd say differently. It wasn't needed. This wasn't any need, to make just a big to do about it.
Right. But I think he regrets some of that. I think it cost him some endorsement deals. and I also believe it's cost him a home on a couple of teams right now. And I think looking back on it, he probably regrets the way he did some of that. Maybe not trying to. He don't regret the fact that he wanted to stand up for something he believes in. He just regrets. Well, maybe he don't regret it all, but I would regret the way I did it. I wouldn't regret what I was trying to do, but the way I did it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's still plenty of time, for him to get signed with somebody, and train with the team, before the season starts. So.
And in Seattle seems like a good.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like Seattle's the direction he's headed in, but anything could happen.
And they were looking on there. They got Eddie Lacy now there, running back. So Rashawn Lynch, he goes to Oakland. Everybody thought he was done, and Sherman, their corner, opened his mouth up about that. He got mad. He just kind of said, "How do we let someone go like that?" Cat's out of the bag that they. Maybe Lynch wanted to stick around, but some things wouldn't go, a certain way. So that's interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
What's coming up? We got NHL Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Last time we looked, NBC, it was 2-2 to.
Pittsburgh was up 2-0.
We don't know what the score is now. We don't know the time. We don't really watch hockey.
I just say no. I
don't watch hockey.
I just say that. I'm not a hockey person myself.
No, not a hockey person. Other than that, if you want to watch it, NBC, check it out. Some things that came up this week coming up. You got the NBA Finals.
Game 1, Thursday night, Cleveland Golden State, Part 3.
Part 3. You have next weekend. You have the
Belmont Stakes.
Belmont Stakes and horse racing. You got the WWE Extreme Rules. On June 4th, I said?
Yeah.
June 4th. So if you watch wrestling, a wrestling fan, don't forget that. WWE Network, $10. Very good deal.
Honestly, probably some interesting news. Honestly, that probably everybody saw this morning. Honestly, good old Tiger Woods was arrested yesterday for a DUI in Florida.
Oh, well. It's not oh, well. You can't be drinking and driving. It's bad.
Well, I'm really not sure what to say about it. Because I'm all for Tiger. Getting back to the swing of things in the golf game, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe this is probably just an honest mistake, and I'm hoping he won't do it again. But as far as his golf game is concerned, I just probably hate to say that his golf game is not going to be the same again.
No, is he done?
Well,
no, he's going to win a major. He'll win another major. Everybody says no, he won't. He'll win another one.
Honestly, yeah. Give it time, with the right, training and whatever. He'll win some more majors. Probably not in the dominant fashion, that he once did, when he first burst onto the scene 20 years ago. But honestly, he'll still win some majors.
Also, too, way too early top 25 from ESPN for college basketball. I've got some bones to pick with this one.
Okay.
Because the way too early initially, before anybody was going to declare for the draft and before anybody pulled out, everything like that, Kentucky was number 1.
Yeah, honestly, those are released usually like a day or two after the championship game. Actually, no, I think they're released the day after. Either it's the day after or like a few hours after the championship game is done.
But based on the information that they had at that time, which was they don't know who was going to be
they
on the roster, but they had an idea. They had some recruits that were signed.
Yeah, I understand. They didn't know who was going to be who was leaving, who was staying, or whatever. Honestly, they didn't know. Well, ESPN, they did release a second way too early top 25.
And they know everything now.
Yeah, released Thursday. Well, of course, the top 5 right now, as of Thursday, are as follows. Arizona, Kansas, Michigan State, Kentucky, and Duke.
So how do you go from being number 1 when they didn't know crap to number 4 when they know everything? Arizona didn't add crap. Kentucky added an extra player in Kevin Knox. No one even projected them to get Kevin Knox, so that's a bonus. No one projected Diallo to actually come back. Most thought he was going to stay. First initial thoughts he'd come back. Then all of a sudden he started doing his measurements were the best. His athletic ability, his running times were the best out of everybody in the draft combine. And everybody was saying he's not coming back. And then all of a sudden they turned around the very last day, he's coming back. So this was the day after Diallo decided to come back. It's in the writing that they recognize Diallo's back. So you get Kevin Knox extra edition. You get Jamal Baker extra edition. You get Diallo back for sure. And you got your returning players with your 6 or 7 other recruits coming in who are all 5-star, but maybe one, and Baker. And you put him at number 4? Number 4.
Well, I mean...
They shouldn't have been 1 to begin with then. They should have been like 10 and then moved to 4. How do you penalize a team for doing better than what you projectedly thought they were going to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I see. Well, I don't know, but I'm sure this isn't I'm sure this isn't the first time that's happened. I mean, because you have like say first Arizona. Okay, let's see, like last year, Arizona, great season. I believe they were 32-5, made it to the Sweet 16. A lot of people picked Arizona to go to the Final Four, but they were upended in the Sweet 16.
Right.
And of course, they had good players. Tall Lauri Markkanen. Which one of their main, which I can't remember, it was Mark. I don't know if Markkanen was a freshman or not. I'm not sure. Honestly, and I'm not sure what Arizona had coming back, but they have Arizona at 1, and I believe CBS Sports or one of the websites had Arizona. I believe it was CBS Sports that had Arizona as the favorite to cut down the nets in San Antonio next year.
I don't think Kentucky's going to have a problem. We're going to run a 2-platoon system with possibly 2 other players, or at least 1 other player in a Ty Wynyard, or maybe even a Sasha. I hate to say that, but if not, it would probably be Ty. Sorry, Ty, if you're watching this. Nothing against you. I'm just saying, based on talent, without seeing what you've accomplished during the summer, based on talent, it looks like Ty would be that 11th guy off the bench, and you're going to run 2 platoon systems. And everybody says Calipari's not going to run 2 platoon systems again.
Well,
he will. Calipari will run 2 platoon systems. He has to, because he can't have Wenyen Gabriel and Diallo and Sasha come back and not give them any playing time at all. Diallo's going to play. Sasha and Wenyen, I don't care what anybody says, well, if they're not good enough, they won't get on the court. Okay, Cal's not going to go against his word. This is about the players. Cal would rather see those guys work their butt off during the summer and get some playing time so they possibly can make the NBA than not play them at all. I mean, do you agree?
I would say they should get playing time.
2 platoon or not? You think 2 platoon? Platoon 2? Magnificent 5? You want to bring that up next? The Magnificent 5?
You know what? I don't know. I honestly really don't know. I mean, I guess I'm pretty much just like everybody else. I just have to wait and see what happens with them. I guess what happens with everybody else as well.
I could see also Kentucky finally starting all 5 freshmen. We talked about this the other day. Wenyen Gabriel and Sasha may deserve to start because they have experience now from a year ago. They're practicing over summer. They're getting better. But a dream scenario for Kentucky fans who always have to deal with freshmen would be for a group of 5 freshmen to start and win a championship, to rub it in everyone's face. And so if you what did we say the other day? Claude Green, Diallo, Kevin Knox, Nick Richards, and then we said Vanderbilt or Washington, PJ Washington or Jared Vanderbilt starting. Yeah. Or you could go Wenyen Gabriel or Sasha, but I'm saying if we wanted all 5, so instead of calling us the Return of the Fab 5, it would be the Magnificent 5 or the Magnificent 5 or the...
I believe you used the Immaculate 5.
Immaculate 5.
Honestly, Immaculate 5, I don't know. I guess you probably stick with the Magnificent 5. The Immaculate 5 doesn't really...
Magnificent 5 is good.
It doesn't stick with anyone. Honestly, but I mean, honestly, I like your enthusiasm about everything, but...
At least give them a fighting chance,
Yeah, honestly, we just gonna have to wait until I want to say, but the practices starting mid-October, and we pretty much just have to wait till November 10th when the season actually gets underway to see what's going on.
Right.
Let's
see what that happen.
Yeah, I just say the schedule, honestly, with the non-conference schedule, which Cal always schedules. I say Cal, schedules games, that gets the team tournament ready.
I think this year it kind of lacks it. You got your normal. Go ahead and say your normal. Kansas.
They got Kansas and Chicago.
Okay.
They have Louisville at home.
That's normal.
UCLA and New Orleans.
They're okay.
But they also had Harvard. Harvard is coming to rep for the first
That's
time.
not a good game. That's an easy game.
Well, it could be.
It is.
Okay. Week afterward is scheduled Monmouth.
Okay, another easy.
In Madison Square Garden. Okay, the Virginia Tech.
Easy.
At home. First time in about 20 years they play Virginia Tech. And also the annual SEC Big 12 Challenge game, which, of course, is never easy. They send Kentucky on the road this time to West Virginia.
Tough place to play. West Virginia, early top 25. Found them at number 9 or 10. Should be a good team to play. That might be a tougher game. But if you compare that to previous schedules, like last year's, year before, I just think this year's schedule doesn't scare me. When you hear Monmouth and Harvard and come on.
Well, honestly, that might not be. Honestly, that might look like an easy schedule. However, a lot of these small schools they've pulled off big upsets in the past.
Missouri's going to be tough in the SEC.
Yeah, I'm saying don't forget about the SEC.
Florida, Missouri,
Florida, Missouri. I believe some.
Is Arkansas going to be good?
I believe so. There were a couple of experts. Mike said maybe Arkansas, maybe Alabama, and possibly Texas A&M, but I don't.
All I gotta say is bring it.
I was gonna say I don't know.
Bring it. We're not worried. We're not worried.
I don't say we just gonna have to wait till November.
Wait until November. And football, college football. So let's go Cats and that.
I say college football. That starts later.
Do the Cats make a better bowl game next year for football?
If they get more than 7 wins, yes.
Projection. They're saying that this is going to be a better team than last year's team.
Well, I guess. Well, I don't know. I said, last year's team, I'm just saying, I was stunned that they exceeded my expectation. After they started the season, 0-2, I was just like everybody else, pretty much just throwing in the towel. But then they messed around and won 7 of their final 11 games, which did include a big upset of Louisville to close out the regular season. And they got a couple of big SEC. They beat Vanderbilt. Okay, which not really okay. They beat Mississippi State for the first time in 8 years. Beat South Carolina 3 times in a row, which they haven't beaten an SEC team 3 times in a row in so long. And hopefully, my main wish list. Let's see. I got a few wishes. Okay. My first wish, possibly, if Steven Johnson is returning as star quarterback, hopefully he will make it. Hopefully he will have himself, a great seat where he makes it on the all offensive team for the SEC.
What about Barker though?
Well, honestly, if Barker does come back, honestly, I'm hoping the same for him.
Because I think, didn't they say Barker? Aren't they doing some type of little summer drills right now? They've already done the.
Yeah, they've already done the spring game.
Yeah, and Barker had a pretty good showing in that, and they also said that he's been doing good in practice, right?
Yeah.
So is it his job or is it still Johnson's job? Johnson won all those games. I would say it's Johnson's job, but
I just say it's still Steven Johnson's job, for the moment. I just, unless in the unlikely event, Johnson has a bad, couple of snaps and then Barker steps in.
Right. That's the only bad thing about Kentucky right now. It's the inconsistency at quarterback and the inconsistency at coaching to not nail down that starter and say, no matter if he has a bad game or not, he's still our starter.
Yeah. It's
always in the back of either one's mind that if I just have a bad few snaps, I'm out of the game. And they're never going to get over that slump of not being that good until they can figure out they're an actual full-time starter. And I think this is always going to be weighing on the team, and I hope we figure it out completely.
I hope so.
So
it's another wish. Okay, Kentucky finished at 4-4. Finished at an even 500 in the SEC last year, which considering what they've done in SEC play for a number of years, it's honestly, it's a major accomplishment, almost a miracle.
they said that Kentucky could be a dark horse this year in the SEC.
There could be.
I think it was SEC Network I was watching. There were some football analysts on there that said
It could.
Oh, I think one or two of them had Kentucky as their dark horse pick. Possibility.
Hey, it could be. And my final wish for Kentucky football, and I hope and pray to heaven it happens, is for Kentucky to finally end the 3-decade-long streak of futility and beat Florida.
Will this count? Is it both ways? Beating at Kentucky, at Florida?
Honestly, probably not this year because Kentucky's hosting.
Okay. When's the last time we beat them at Florida? Do we even know that statistic? Or
I believe that was 1970 something.
So when's the last time we beat them at Kentucky?
Oh, it's honestly, it's been.
Is it around the same time frame or?
Probably so. I mean, because Kentucky has not beat Florida since 1986, November 1986.
See, we ended the one with Tennessee, but I always still think, when's the last time have we beat Tennessee at Tennessee?
77.
So Kentucky beat Tennessee at Kentucky, and stopped the streak of just losing to them.
Yeah,
but they still have not beat Tennessee at Tennessee in a long damn time.
Yes.
So we're running into the same problem with Florida.
Yes, I understand. And I mean,
and what about Alabama? Are we running into a big problem with them too?
Well, probably not because Kentucky really doesn't play Alabama that much.
Are we going to play them this year? Do we know the schedule yet?
Honestly, the schedule is out, but I don't think Alabama's on there. Honestly,
that might help us.
They play everybody else. They play everybody in the East, and they play maybe a few teams out of the West. Which I think out of the West they get Mississippi State at home. No, they go to Mississippi State, and I believe they face Ole Miss this year.
So that might be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how those games go.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. Well, I think we covered a lot of information, maybe some information that you didn't quite care to hear, but we wanted you to hear it anyways. So,
we have to throw that. Yeah, honestly, we just have to throw that in.
And happy Memorial Day again to all the veterans. Thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Honestly, thank you guys for being patient with us. I know it's been a little while since we've been back. But
yeah, we kind of wanted to wait until after everybody declared for the draft, after the Indy, after the holiday weekend, and kind of give you something to top your night off, go to bed, wake up, and drag your butt back to work for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
And so on. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe.
Comment, share.
There we go. And if you do all that, we'll make more videos. And if you don't, we'll still make more videos.
Yeah. Honestly, we ain't going to stop y'all.
We ain't going to stop. So you guys have a great day. I'm going to come around and hit the off button or stop button.
Okay.
All right. Here, follow me. Look. Oh, there I go. No. All right.
Have a good night, y'all.